Some people say that Genesis doesn't teach that Noah's flood covered the entire planet. But I will show how they take out of context and how they are liars and how they are very irrational. In this place, do the Romans find dinosaur fossils from, Invicta, a channel about ancient history.
Did the ancient Romans ever come across dinosaur fossils?
They try to inject their modern myth into ancient Roman history. So I said this over here. Hold on. May as well try to inject aliens in ancient Rome. Same type of jumping to conclusions to fit your modern fable. And someone actually agreed with me, which is very unusual. So let me get to the more relevant post here. I think it's this one. I said Romans didn't believe in dinosaurs. They weren't trying to undermine the Noah's Ark story by inventing creatures too big or numerous to fit in the ark with the real animals. And I actually got likes, which is extremely rare. I don't know what's going on with the world. How could I get likes? When does that ever happen? I'm a free thinker, and that means I'm against the whole world. Almost the whole world. So someone had put a comment. No, this is not my channel. This is a channel that believes in dinosaurs. This is pro-dinosaur propaganda. Pro-dinosaur propaganda channel. So I did not delete this person's. I cannot delete anyone's comments here. But they deleted their comment where they claimed that dinosaurs were an objective truth. Well, he provided zero, as well as everyone else who believes in dinosaurs. They have provided zero objective facts proving that dinosaurs would exist. So he mocks the Bible as fairy tales when he believes slime magically transformed into Frankenslime. He's a massive hypocrite. I noticed he edited his shitpost from frustration that someone is a freethinker and doesn't buy the bullshit he considers to be chocolate. He was so ashamed of his comment that he deleted it. Again, I could not delete his comments. This is not my channel. And if I do delete comments in my channel, it's only because they're just distracting or lying about me. They had their chances. I always give people chances, but they just keep lying, so I get tired of that. So someone said that the Bible is wrong without proving that the Bible is wrong. And they said dinosaurs are real, man. And they didn't provide any proof, of course. So gullible. But then there's this guy. This guy said Noah's Ark was a global flood, but it did not cover all the earth. Noah took only all of the animal species of the Arabian Peninsula. Also, dinosaurs roamed the earth millions of years before mankind. Supposedly. Of course, you can see he's just making assertions and giving no reason for believing in it. He's just regurgitating propaganda. He's a mindless person. He's like a zombie. And then he said to someone else, it would be possible to take all the species of Arabia. The Bible points out that not all land went underwater. Actually, this is a lie. He said the mountains were always visible. This is a lie. I'll get to that, God willing. Also, all cultures talk about a massive flood. Indeed. I don't know about all, but many do. Some records might not be existing, which is why it's not all, I think. In Australia, for example, the natives have an oral tradition about a massive flood that forced them to go inland. Said this person. That's corroborative evidence for the global flood, by the way. Just as pyramids being in Mesoamerica, Indonesia, Babylon, Egypt, and elsewhere corroborate with the Tower of Babel story that mankind was once united at a pyramid-like structure. Although, of course, a pyramid is one of the most basic shapes. However, there are alternatives. They don't have to be that kind of thing. You haven't. So I said you haven't proven dinosaurs ever existed. You haven't proven the Bible meant some of the earth when it said the whole world. Then he said, dinosaurs never existed. Let me guess, you also believe that the earth is flat? And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And earth and not the whole world, as you said, he said. Really, earth and not the whole world? Well, the earth is the world, and therefore that's the same thing. They're synonymous. Earth is used to describe the region, not the whole planet, he says, without giving any good reason whatsoever to go by this misinterpretation. As I get to elaborating on, he said someone has a video called blah blah blah. Maybe later I'll do something on that. Although I'm still trying to get out of YouTube. It's just that new ideas pop into my mind to make videos to cover things that are important to cover, or just fun to cover, like Spain destroying Portugal. Anyway, so he said that mountains were always visible. No, liar. It refers to mountains by an archaic term, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. Now, the Bible doesn't have to use the word mountain, because the word mountain is what a modern person would say to refer to a high hill. So he's projecting his modern point of view onto the writers of the Bible, not just English, but previous, even more separate in time, even more chronologically separate writers, the original ones, or some of the earliest, who copied the original ones verbatim. And if not verbatim, you would be able to know by comparing, contrasting with the basis of Judaism. Anyway, it also says, every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. If the earth were only part of the earth, as liars like you claim, then not every living substance would be destroyed, since many would remain alive outside of your arbitrarily selected region. So they take out of context. The context is everything that breathes air is going to die from the flood. So it's not just in Arabia, because things breathe air outside of Arabia, believe it or not. Over here in Genesis, hold on, damn it. Over here, yet look at this context as well. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And so it is in the latter days now, increasingly. And it repented Yah that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And Yah said, I will destroy Adam, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both he and beast and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. So look at the context here. Several points here prove that it's a global flood. The fowls of the air are going to die by this flood. If it's only in Arabia or a local area, then are all of the fowls that God had created, were all of them going to die? No, of course not, because there's still birds outside of Arabia. People really don't look at the context. They don't want to see the only rational explanation, which is all of the earth was covered with water. Now these people who say that's impossible are the same kind of people who believe alchemy is real. And not just alchemy of lead into gold, which is metal into metal, but something far more miraculous than that, and totally unprecedented, beyond that level of unprecedented, which is non-life into life, that slime transformed into Franken slime. So they're hypocrites. They believe in magic on steroids, but when there's less magic in the book of Genesis, they say, no way, man. Hypocrites, 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 because indeed the wickedness of man is great in the earth, and God is going to bring a next flood of fire this time, not water, fire. And I love that God will destroy liars, because liars are absolutely disgusting, and I want them to repent. It would be great if they repented, but they won't, so they should just die. But God will determine when they should die, not me. It's not my job to take out the trash. And I used to be a liar, but I repented. So there's more context I want to cover. Over here we have, let's see here. Where was it that I was going to consider? Oh yes, over here when it talks about the wickedness of man was great in the earth, why would it be just local? Because it says here that God repented that he had made man on the earth. If it were only a local area, it would have said the local area, but instead it just says the whole world, the planet, the earth. If you say the earth, you're talking about the world, because the context is mankind. And where is mankind? Where is mankind? In all of the world, that's where. So to say that only people in Arabia were exceedingly wicked, that's nonsense. People in the past were wicked all over the world, just like today they're wicked all over the world. And the key here that I was going to focus on was he regretted creating man on the earth. Where did he create man? In the Garden of Eden. So this is about mankind. This is about the entire world. Voila. People who distort the Bible will have a special place in the lake of fire.